Alright. Got a double layer of chat. Let me fix that real quick. We are live. How does the audio sound, everybody? Hope y'all are having good days. Kanu, Dingerfish, glad to see ya. So it turns out that, like, doing these weekly and just doing things, like, in a shorter format, I think this is pretty sustainable. Like, again, as I said last time, if school gets much harder, there might have to be a break. But, like, this took 5 minutes to set up. I have plenty of time to finish homework afterwards. I think this is going to work. Have your notes been helping? Yes, actually. Got an exam on Tuesday, and it's been great for just kind of just checking over my knowledge and making sure that my own note sheet that I bring in is going to be okay. I appreciate it. Thank you. Alright. I think we've got everything ready that we need. So, I think... One second. Properties. For the next several strings, BC, we're going to start off with just reading another Heavenly Havoc moveset. Just to kick things off, get ourselves in the mood. Because these are very fun. Okay. Wasn't expecting this back to be so quick. We might be able to do this pretty consistently now. Like, don't get too excited for that. I don't know if that's guaranteed, but like we'll see. Okay, what's the single moveset we're going to start off with today? I think I would like to start... Let's check out one of the Native American ones. I'm curious how that's been translated over. Let's grab Selu from the Cherokee. Alright. Long before humans had become a species, there was Kanati, the first man. Kanati was not only the first man, but the first hunter, and he was the spirit of the lucky hunter. Always found good fortune in his searches. This good fortune led to the ecosystem to collapse, and to counterbalance his hunting, from the corn Selu was birthed, the first woman to provide harvests to offset the need to hunt. Kanati and Selu had 2 children, and though Kanati's miraculous hunting and Selu's magical ability to grow corn, they always had a lot to eat. However, becoming suspicious of their parents' ability to always have unlimited supplies, the 2 snuck out to witness their methods. Finding Selu using magic to grow the corn, the 2 boys killed their mother, with her blood seeping into the ground. In her final breaths, Selu wished that her boys would always have plenty of corn to eat. Thus, Selu became a spirit, prayed to this day by the Cherokee for good harvests. Favorite thing about this sort of concept, you just get to get inside scoops into just how other mythological origin stories for various things have come about. Love that. Love that. Selu is a character who works specifically within her domain. In some versions of the original myth, in order to obtain the corn Selu promised them in her dying breath, her sons had to take her body and leave it in the field in which they wanted to grow, the corn to grow. As such, Selu leaned very heavily into stage control, using a variety of traps and setups to assert control over the stage. And I do mean the stage. Selu is rather weak in the air, and part of her game plan is keeping the foe planted on the ground. BC has been so clever with just translating myth into moveset. It's so fascinating. So you force them to make the choice between walking range or traps or desperately trying to run away. Taking attacks not merely strong options to reward you for getting above your opponents, but rather as a necessity to... Okay. Grounded character needs to get back to the stage. Slow, you know. Alright, like last time, and probably moving forward in Peasant's perspective in general, I'm going to just briefly skim through individual moves. I like the grassy effects. Backhand chop, palm strike, spiritual projections, cool. Got a kind of a villager down tilt for the crouching attack. Basic kick for air. Love the druid effects that are just on all of this. Medium attacks. Oh. I love this mental image. It's kind of the gosh, doing like a mythological fighting game brings so much room for just cool visual effects. We saw that in the last stream too, with I can't remember the Aztec god's name, but who kind of just had galactic after effects in all of his attacks. Love stuff like that. Forward. Round forward with a stab as if the ear of corn was sharp. Okay. Stalagmite corn. Exactly, Dingerfish. Crazy feats, visual effects, so cool. Spin in a circle, create a circle around her, going to spin. Cool. So I'm locking people in place. His logic is cute. This is Echoes of Wisdom. This actually fits pretty well. Air, flash of light bursts around her. The popcorn sprays all around her. That's cute. Ear of corn is just like a spear. Oh, referencing... Oh, that... Oh, I love that. Referencing other characters in the myths. Alright, heavy attacks. Branching in opposite directions, slashing the opponents. It's almost a bit of, like, druid plant shapeshifting? Okay. Rising attack. It's corn. So big ol' spinny leaf slash. Cool. Forward, 2 strike. Spiritual projections again. Cute. Emblem stops corner appearing on the other side of her, going diagonally upwards and jabbing whoever tries to approach her. Tower corn in space. Okay, so both sides hitboxes go up. Kind of Mega Man down smash, almost. I like it. I just like the mental image of just that sort of druidcraft using plants as a weapon. That's just fun. I wish more druids did that. Like, you'll have staves that are made of, like, natural things, but you don't get as much of, like, that sort of wild growth. It's kind of more skews towards, like, weather. Or, like, basic element stuff. You don't get as much plant. I just said there's none of it, but I think it's a fun aesthetic. Descending... kind of a... Oh, like a wooden helicopter kind of move. Okay, cool. Conversion attack. This was the move that gives you back your MP bar. Also, apparently Zeus has a stage control. We'll get to that eventually. Shot corn in front of her, growing about 2 platform lengths. If the opponent is standing in this, she will rapidly gain MP. Grows higher the more that you use it. Okay. That's kind of an interesting stage denial mechanic. Like, it doesn't do any damage, but if you're standing in this area, the opponent gets a resource. Okay, I like that. I like that. Specials. Okay. Create a vine in your hands, whip it forwards. Any given hits will have the vine attached to them. And will now be attached to... Oh! Ooh, oh, that's fun. Works as kind of, not like a tether grab, but actually like a physical tether. Like, you cannot get much any further from this character than as far as the vine reaches. That's cool. I like that. Selu's movement is prioritized, so if the opponent tries to leave the radius, they'll be unable to... So this is a Lego game. Selu's player 1, they're player 2. Meaning that if an opponent tries to leave the radius, they'll be unable to get stuck. But if Selu tries to leave the radius, he'll drag the opponent with her. This is useful for preventing an opponent from escaping into the air and avoid your traps. This is a very cool thing for a grounded character. Attacked and broken earlier if the opponent focuses on it, but it's pretty durable. Okay, so there's counterplay to it. But I'm expecting like a... maybe 3 or 4 hits. If you use standing special again while you're tethered to a foe, Selu will do a quick dash forward. This dash does not have a hitbox on it, and Selu is vulnerable during it. It's entirely meant as a burst option movement. This vine extends beyond the radius of the vine. It is a surefire way. Okay, so once you're already tethered to someone, you can essentially use it again to pull them. Cool. Alright, second one. Upon use, hold her hand out and fire an ear of corn directly forward as a projectile. Relatively standard. Forward for a bit and arc downwards. If it hits the stage, it will be planted there. That part of the stage is now a trap. Okay. Suddenly burst out of the ground and launch them. I don't know how long it took someone to activate the trap. Oh, ooh! Oh, hang on. Oh, that's so good, though! This agriculture goddess needs to plant and cultivate her traps in order for them to be stronger. I love that! Oh, and it works with the tether! You can pull people into... This is brilliant. I love this. It's very similar to, like, Villager's Down Special. Yeah, Villager Down B, but good. But instead of just being this, like, you put it there and eventually you water it, you actually... There's a time mechanic attached to it, which is just... I love that so much more. How many of these you can put on the stage. And you can just cultivate the whole stage if the match goes on long enough. That's really good. That's really good. Okay, crouching. On the ground, this one is giant at the base, but will tilt diagonally upwards. After... It's a corn mortar! Yo, is this Age of Empires? Hell yeah! This is the Mayan theme. The rocket as it flies diagonally as a projectile or hits the top of the screen. It's literally just a mortar. I love that. Air. 3 seeds projectiles. Do weak damage. If you hit the stage with them. Nothing will grow out of them. Instead, this is set up for Selu's movement special. Okay. So 2 types of traps. Descending X%. What does that mean? Pull yourself to the ground with a slam. Dash to the ground very quickly. Pierces opponents. Stay attached to the vine. It will act as a... Oh! Ooh, okay. Okay. So, not only can you tether to people to prevent them from moving outside of that bubble, you can also tether yourself to a specific part of the stage to make it so that you can't get too far from it, which as a very grounded character is very, very useful. Particularly strong launching attacks will break the vine. That's interesting, because that could be both a blessing and a curse. Like, in some ways, it does turn you into a bit of a punching bag, but if you can, like, do that around multiple of your traps, that's really interesting. Nice tether with a tether created by the sanity for secure yourself. You can have both active. This is just a fun mental image. Just grabbing somebody, grabbing the stage, and just deciding that, nope, you are not leaving this spot. Which, with such a trap-heavy character, that's really good. I love how, with like the mythological theming of this game, BC is just going balls to the wall of, what is this character's fantasy? Let's double down on it as much as possible. Because they're mythological figures, of course they're going to be over the top. And it feels kind of balanced because that's every single character. Alright, movement. This is the thing that interacted with the air specials. On stage, as well as the areas with corners planted on stage from the side special will be highlighted. If she's in the air, we'll have her momentum stalled. Oh! If everyone's super, no one is. Exactly! Perfectly balanced game. Everybody's crazy. So this is... You drop the seeds down. You can choose to essentially teleport to them, but you don't appear immediately. The corn has to grow and blossom. I'm gonna skip the witch theme. I feel like this would fit several characters, but not quite this one. Sorry, where was I? Spirit of the corn at the start. Corn's finished growing up, will open up. Yeah, okay, so this has to be teleported into. Corn is not just the seed. You'll still teleport there, but the ever-growing corn planted will swap places with a random seed on stage, making it so that any opponent keeping track of where Selu is planted will ultimately end up having no idea where they need to be afraid of. Of course, the downside of this is that Selu won't know either. Interesting. And if you teleport to an ever-growing corn, then there are seeds on stage, and the ever-growing corn will appear no matter the size, and creates a corn explosion, launching kernels everywhere. That's a very interesting mobility ability. Like, if the setup isn't perfect, you're essentially delaying the teleport, which would be very, very easy to punish. But if you have a setup, you're so safe in the teleports, but you don't know where you're going. And that's just fun. And that's all of it. I love this concept so much. All of this just... This is some of the finest creative juice. We are definitely going to continue just poking away at these for the next several streams. Maybe I might even do one just to go through as many as possible, just to see how many we can do. But yeah, BC-omix. Fantastic idea. Love it. Okay. What do we do next? Celebration of Corn? May I go next? Yeah, sure. Because you're right here. Let's get the music. Do the fighting. It's more, yeah, more corn. It's perfect. Alright. Let's Fire Emblem Fates. Me, as much as I don't like and enjoy not liking Fire Emblem Fates, if there's one thing it's great, just unabashedly amazing with, it's the music. Alright. Oh, I remembered. Would you look at that? Gabe the Paper. That's true. Weapon variety is also pretty cool. Also, the kind of cultural split between classes, that is very, very neat as well. Thank you for the reminder, for the link. There you go, everybody. And let's begin. Let's shrink down the chat as well, so I can move it around as needed. Last time on this Schmuck's Peasant's Perspective Submissions. I suppose it's time. Time for me to unleash my true power! I don't know why I went Vagar on you. Corn plus Fates. Don't make a Feral Fates reimagining. You'll destroy the universe. This is silly. You fools, you mess with the natural order. Warning, this concept is full of spoilers for Fire Emblem Fates. Oh no! The fantastic story of Fire Emblem Fates. Y'all better leave right now. You're about to have the finest of literature ruined for you. Special thanks to the following. Their videos helped me better understand the game and its flaws. Myself. Keita Nash Streams. Abdallah Smash, Shane Brain, Fairgast, Professor Bob. Bobber's great. Is Corn actually a well-written character? I haven't seen that one. How Fire Emblem Fates ruined his best character. Curses! I was too late to stop him. Ancient Minister, what happened? I was about to end Gabe, but suddenly, that light. I underestimated him and thus made the mistake of being passive for too long. Gabe's four Smash Gear hybrids have disrupted the balance of cringe and base to a critical degree as is. The first was when he mixed Corn with Nagoriyuki. The second was when he mixed Olimar with Jacko. Third, he mixed the Ice Climbers with Zato. And Isabel with Faust. Now Gabe is taking Eve. God, this is a good song. Further contaminating the entire Fire Emblem title? If we don't stop him, this concept will trigger. What's with the EU? Google it. Corn-mageddon, in which the whole universe will be replaced with an ear of corn! My God! What concept could possibly trigger such mass destruction? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Hi. You! How could you, Gabe? How could you destroy the natural order? What do you mean? I said I would. This isn't out of character for me at all. But why? Because Nintendo keeps betraying us. Garbage online, Joy-Con drift, killing fan projects. The only reason they haven't died yet is because of their games. And even then they pull shit. This is true. So I shall have my revenge. Destroy this world and create a new one. Also, I get a tasty snack afterwards. So, yeah, Lagiocracy is back. The moments the hunter dove into the water, I legitimately gasped. I never thought that would come back. Behold! Gabe, wait! I understand your feelings. No one likes when a company mistreats their IPs, but it's the cringe in life that makes the face out. Oh, that's one of the best, worst lines I've ever seen written. Yeah, like my games. They're pretty good. Just saying. You know, maybe you're right. After all, Fates was like 10 years ago. I should give this series a chance. What's like the newest one like? Engage sure is a game. I don't think there has ever been a video game in a long-standing franchise that I know it exists, but I have to, like, remember it exists every time it's mentioned. Like, 5 minutes from now, Engage is going to completely leave my memory, and I'm never going to think about it until it pops up again. It is impressively just this void of a game. Like it's not a bad one, but it's just what's the word I'm looking for? It's like it's been hit by a grease spell in D&D. Just any time you want to grasp onto something with it, it slips off. It's unengaging. We got a Mexican standoff here. How long does this... Fire Emblem, Fighting Fates. This is goofy. I like this. 2 years ago, a Superfish dude created a mod that replaced Corrin's voice with Raiden from Metal Gear Rising. I found it hilarious, and I made ideas around it, slowly creating a revision of Corrin's entire character. A cocky hothead with mental problems. Which is worse, frustrating or forgettable? That is the question. Honestly, forgettable. Like, as much as I enjoy ragging on Fates, I enjoy that. Like, on the Jello Apocalypse scale of 10 to -10, I'd much rather have the -8 of Fates than just kind of the 3 of Engage. Engage isn't that bad. I don't know if that scale actually works here. Like, okay, picture the bell curve, but, like, fill it so it's like an area. Inverse integral. Engage is, like, in the middle, but higher up. Like, it has quality, but it's just that kind of nothing. Where was I? Corn roasting continued and got more and more creative, too. At one point, we even had an opera rabbit singing a song about him. Alright, Magalord's thing. That was fun. But you know, it's not just Corrin that made Fates so bad. Sure is a big part of why, but Corrin is more of a symptom of the problem. Not the disease. The real problems are similar to a sloppy Yes! Yes! It has a cool premise and pretty nice visuals at times, but underdeveloped writing gets in the way, choosing the generic option of worshipping insert main character, which botches the characters with potential. It's a game that pretends to be nuanced and deep when it's not at all. I heard Fates was written by shonen writers, and yeah. Also the weird incest. Hey, what if I, an even less qualified person, tried reimagining the writing? Yeah. Evolved into the premise you see today, what if instead of trying to make another Awakening, Nintendo decided, make the sequel an anime fighting game spin-off? Who asked for this? Who cares? Ignoring what fans wanted was our thing at the time anyway. What could go wrong? I wish I had foreseen the corn theming of this. This would have been such an easy thumbnail. Maybe I'll start making thumbnails kind of references to the I'll make the titles references to the previous stream, and then the thumbnails a showcase of what's going to come. That sounds fun. What the fuck? It truly is a Cornmageddon. Before it starts, 3 rules to this concept. There will be no removing characters, but they can be changed however I want. Corn is still the main, can still be changed. So we're still going with like the feral Corrin angle here. And no incest. Like why is that even something that... It's fine. Well, no, it's not fine, but like what can you do? The lore. Matt Pat. I miss Matt Pat Tales. He's still doing stuff. Didn't he just start, like, a political thing to try to work with people to understand, like, internet culture more? I'm pretty sure I saw that news story. Which is so good for him. Now, I should explain the whole history and how we get to the main game's situation in Fighting Fates. Please note that I don't know about the Hidden Truths DLC when I'm writing this. Like, if we're not putting significant information in the base game. And of course, becoming two people was dumb anyways. Was that the thing? What? Okay. Long ago, in the land of Levia... Levia? I had to read that 3 times. There was a war between gods for power. A few were banished, but the majority died. Another good song. Gosh, I love music where, like, the piano is being hit hard enough that it almost becomes a percussion instrument. Which, it's technically a percussion instrument. Well, pianos are pianos. It's also a string, technically. Pianos are pianos. The victors were the Dawn and Dusk Dragons, whose influence was so great they permanently altered Levia's climate. There was one other survivor. An egg buried deep in the center of the continent, left in a silent battlefield. His name is Anonkos. Fucking... It's Leviathan... 1,000 years later, the egg hatched, leaving behind a bottomless canyon. The silent dragon that arose wandered the world in confusion, looking for others. Accidentally damaged cities, got attacked for it. What's the word? Heavenly Havoc. Yes, Anonkos, the next DLC character. Easily overpowered the civilians. In desperation, they begged the 2 gods for assistance. 5 champions were given dragon's blood, dry iron weapons. Bow to the future Roshin Queen, electric sword to King Kazama, Fire Emblem lore. The heroes came together and defeated the dragon. When has that ever happened in Fire Emblem before? Fight the dragon, but it must be entrapped so that the current game can be centered around taking it down. Anonkos made a new region. Enjoyed the fight so much, he started developing a divine masochistic fascination towards war. Developing our Feathered Kingdom, as more people fell down. Lilith is a character that existed. Dragon kept toying with the people. Azura escaped because her mother got away. Anonkos can't leave, but his puppets can, and then you get to where Fate starts. Other people escaped into pocket dimensions, the astral plane stuff. Civil War broke out over how to handle Anonkos, leading to 2 brothers. Split in half. Lion bring Anonkos to justice. Mora believed that Anonkos was too powerful. One person wants to defeat the threat, the other one thinks it can't be defeated. War did not go well. Mora defeated Pokemon at the cost. Sorry, I'm just skipping over this. Like it's just because this is like established stuff. The 3 heroes to escape to Leviathan and forced Lilith to take the key to killing him. Lilith barely won, was nearly severely injured when she met Corrin in the Northern Fortress. As a result of the royalty being descendants of Dusk and Dawn, Nor suffers an eternal winter, and Hoshido an eternal summer. Hoshido to flourish, Nor suffered. Could have had a fascinating conflict because of that, but no. Nor had to conquer to be able to get the resources they needed. Unlike vanilla Fates, Nora and Hoshido both have flaws that lead to problems. Nora's pretty authoritarian. Nora's good to their allies once they hit that point, offering Makoshu land and providing the Ice Tribe with oil. Meanwhile, Hoshido is kind to its citizens, but they keep to itself. Yeah, that's so much more interesting! People in prosperity, but isolationist in that point. Like, once people are in the community, that's all we care about, versus somebody who is harsh, but treats their citizens well. That's interesting. That's almost, well, kind of Shadows of Valencia, but that game didn't really do enough with that concept either. There's actually quite a few Fire Emblem factions that fall into that niche now that I'm thinking about it. But this actually, like, doubles down on... Like, I'm already more invested in this vision for Fates' lore than the dozens of hours of experience the game provides. The difference between the two rapidly increasing. Hoshido had more than enough food to feed both kingdoms, and logically, the starving people want a piece of that. So a trade agreement gets set up, but not all the Hoshidans were pleased with this. So we got a bit of piracy in place, trying to get those resources back to Hoshido. That gets Queen Arette killed, kidnaps Azura. Rage Garen vowed revenge on Hoshido, intending to take the entire kingdom for himself, then destroy it. To do so makes it a revenge story. Offers that. Gosh, this is so much better. Obviously, Nankos is fanning the flames. However, Hoshido helped Koga, or the refugees at the time of need. The Kogans wouldn't have attacked in the first place. That said, Garen takes his revenge too far, becoming more and more merciless and harming innocent people that had nothing to do with the incident. Try family therapy or making it old. Yes. Then again, if someone hurt Sakurai's cat, the world would end. Okay, King Garen makes the deal with the Nankos. Goes to Kraikensha and confronts the Hoshidan royal family. Believing Mikoto ordered the death of his wife and daughter. She was a matriarchy in this version. Garen decides to take an eye for an eye, killing her husband. One spouse, next one daughter, tried to kill Sakura. They were beaten to the point they couldn't move. How there was one more Hoshidan prince in Garen's way of justice. That was Korin. Taking out any shoulders? Taking out every single shoulder that dared cross his path. Wasn't all alive at one side. Gosh, I think the live-action Mulan might be one of the most disappointing movies I've ever watched. Lilo and Stitch hit pretty hard too. Just in terms of, like, missing the point of why the initial movie was so beloved. Goron was a child, so naturally he was getting the shit beat out of him, even worse than Ryoma. But because of the power of determination, kept getting back up. This is the reason the author later chose Korin as contrary. You've already given Korin a reason to earn respect in like 5 minutes of being introduced in the story. And Garen was impressed, so he took Korin. Oh god, an Emperor's New Groove, right? No, oh. Ugh. See no reason to give a shit about most live-action remakes. No, that's just true. Unless they're doing something, like, approaching the original story from a different perspective. Like Maleficent levels. Like, that was kind of interesting. It's like a 7 out of 10 movie, but, like, that was an interesting twist. If you're taking something and, like, really asking a question of, like, what if this was told from a completely different angle, that's got something to it. Alright, Korin gets bonked. Also, fighting as an 8-year-old. The nurturing fortress for rehab from the training accidents. Oh, amnesia. Severe concussion. I see. Makes him a commander. Which actually gives so much more weight to the decision of which family you choose in the game. I think it's so much more interesting to look at bad games and ask what could be better instead of just ragging on them. And I'm guilty of the ragging on them as well. Like, I'm being hypocritical in saying this. But, like, I love this exploration of, sure, there was just a lot of shit here, but if you plant the shit in the ground, it actually becomes a decent fertilizer for something better to grow. The gameplay. The aim functions like a platform fighter with traditional health and breakable walls, with breaking walls. Alright, so kind of stage transitions like Guilty Gear Strive and Dragon Ball Fighters. With characters being able to move and air dash but not attack until the announcer goes fight. Player selects 3 characters, one active, one in the background, and one hidden. Okay. Almost, hang on. So it's like a Donkey Kong Country sort of tag system in a fighting game? Where you're cycling through 3 characters in a set order, with the background able to pop in after an attack. Okay. Okay. Present shield special swaps active and background characters. Shieldless attack swaps background and hidden characters. Oh no, so you can't swap freely. It's just that specifically in this format, you can kind of go 1-2 with the 2 characters. So that's only available... That mechanic's only available to the person in the back. That's an interesting way of approaching Attack Fighter. I kind of find that compelling. Cool. Stats, health, strength, magic, mana meter. Okay. Works like the drive mechanic in that they are stronger when at max mana. Dexterity, frame data, speed, how fast they move, fall, fast fall, luck. Luck. Okay, ooh, I know a lot of character, just, a lot of people don't really like random elements, especially in competitive games like this. I kind of like the spice, to be perfectly honest. I think there's something really important, something really interesting about that sort of... Y'all need to just react to something. Your plan ran into a brick wall. Make a new one. Fence, reduce attacks, okay, resistance. Actually, after landing a hit. Oh, great health. Okay, yeah. Attraction, how long it takes for a character to stop moving when grounded. Okay. Yeah, hero! Exactly! Hero's great fun! Moves. Light attacks, heavy attacks, light aerials, heavy aerials, side, up, down versions. Jabs, dash attacks, throws, and specials. Characters have 4 throws, no pummels. So once you grab, you gotta move them somewhere. 5 specials, neutral side, up, down. Oh! Okay. Background character special. That's a new one I haven't seen before in Peasant's perspective. Shields, guard stance, reduce damage, but still suffer chip. Can only be done on the ground, and throws are unblockable. So, very aggression-focused game design here. Command dash. Charge. Tapping down twice allows characters to slowly charge their mana, DBZ styled. Okay. 8 direction air dash. Usable once. You can wave dash with it. DI is a thing. Parries are a thing. Reflex projectiles. Okay. And you can follow up with dashes. Critical attacks. Which is the super mechanic. Okay. Separate from the mana meter, this is... It's a super meter. Combo counter fuels the super meter. Higher number earned, more meters earned. Okay, again, I like the aggression-focused game design here. Counter hits. Get counter, like Strive. Do more damage. Well, sorry, more hits done. And destroys great health. Taunts are a thing. Some of them interacting between characters. Fun. The characters! What the okay. What the... Okay. So, hang on. I'm just trying to kind of just absorb for a second. Split down the middle. We got Hoshido on the left, Nor on the right. Like, brah, 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 brah. But then there's what is this? What is falling baby silhouette? I want a main falling baby silhouette. And with some of the most eclectic guest characters I've ever seen, but I kind of love this. Just the perfect guest character roster. Kid Goku, Link, Monster Hunter, specifically the Rathalos armor, Raiden, Popo on his own, a bunch of Fire Emblem characters, 2B, is that Final Fantasy Clive? Nana, again on her own. Oh, that's referencing, like, Primal Nana. I remember. Oh, okay. This list is making more sense. Pit's the one Bug Fables character. Baida, thank you. And Mario. Of course. Why would you assume otherwise? Wild Madness over again. I not making 76 entire movesets from scratch. Go over every character in 3 segments. First, explain how to fix them in the main story. General game feel. Go over specials, critical moves, taunts, and victory. Korin. Prince stuck between 2 kingdoms develops dragon powers. He's chosen by a chainsaw to bring peace to the world. How do you run that character? Make his personality made of cardboard. Kind, naive, and that's it. Also, he's a moron and never improves. Not just boring, but frustrating, because he's worshipped at the same time. Trashy isekai protagonist. And the only problem, man, if he and just one other character were overhauled, it would help so much, because there are many other flaws that are fixed just because they are connected to these tumors. Who is the other tumor in Fire Emblem Fates? I don't... So my brain immediately goes to the other major characters. I don't think Azura is that bad. Honestly, probably should have been the protagonist with what the game is now. I don't think this is Garen either. Like, he's boring. Oh, it's him. Okay, that narrows it down. Takumi, maybe? Or is it... No, that's... It's been too long since I've played the game. I don't remember the story enough. Alright. Drastically changed physically and mentally as the story progresses. So drastically he needs 2 character slots. Initially resembles Norian siblings. Personality being a sassy hothead, only humbled by Xander. Not malicious, but snarky in like an affectionate way. Very defensive person. Okay. Rather nobles, a lot more casual and informal. Bit sheltered, and that kind of rubbed off. Never had to be in, like, noble settings. Took a while for his Norian siblings to warm up to him. Korn got fed up with being normally and acted as non-royal as possible. This actually fixed the problem. That's cute. Terrible morning person and coffee addict. Voice options, maybe 18. We get to choose whether early or late bloomer. Okay. Voice actors. Playstyle. Restaurant character with his light attacks sparking multi-hitting electricity, with Ganglari and heavy attacks being stronger. Alright, no dragon stuff. Not as can, but not a glass either. He's Fox. Got sword projectiles. A lot of the same stuff from... I think I'm going to skim moveset stuff, because that's such a better female Corrin. I like the purple a lot. Oh, just to give an idea for... Okay. Spinning super... Pins people... Throw... Okay. Here's a question for you. How do you make the audience love a goofball with a slight ego? It's easy. Simply make them suffer as much as possible. Then goes Feral, trying to have him lose a limb from Hans. Okay. And then the dragon stuff regrows there. God, that will look so cool, too. Especially if you really commit to, like, the emaciated bone design. Very cool. Alright, they try to restore him. Doesn't work. Iago tries to murder Makoto. Corrin gets hit by it. Corrin starts to remember everything. And the curse manifests in terms of the dragon. He gets so stressed off because he remembers his father's death instead. And actually kills his own mom because... Oh, this is so much better. This is so much better. Azure Song still saves him. But now he starts to generate. Has very little control. God, imagine... I would have loved it in Fates if that sort of Manakete transformation was, like, still as powerful, but you had to, like, just... It almost worked like a berserk staff. That'd be really neat. Needs a Dragon Stone, but those are rare. Whereas lost their ability to turn into them, so they became obsolete. They're crushed down to forge Dragon Veins. Neutral nations have used the shards to power their defenses. Starts to gain control as he gets the shards. Wanted this character condition to be a bit more... Yeah, I like that! Again, it kind of equalizes the choice a lot more. Versus matches either Prologue or Feral. However, in the story mode, he's gradually getting the Feral specials as he fits... Oh! Ooh! Ooh! That's interesting. So you have both the initial version of the character and the end version of the character as separate character slots. And in the story mode, it slowly transforms from one to the other. That's neat! I like that! Best arm is the same. Upgraded heavy attacks. Version made it smash. No mana. It's the insanity meter. Goes down by landing attacks. How many are sing or gradually being swapped out. One fully turns into a dragon and forces out his group. Turns to normal. So, oh, This is such a weird format to explore. Like, it's specifically Fire Emblem Fates, but, like, these are, like, genuinely interesting ideas. Having a tag team character that scares a... Why? Oh! I thought her hand was coming out of her ear. Just a moment of what the fuck. Anyway, as I was saying, a tag team character that gets aggressive to the point that they essentially drive off the characters they can tag into. That's interesting! Okay. Projectiles, pinning thing, wings go up, hit people with dragon stuff, spinning whirlpool of water, instant kill water explosion, fun. Zora. Is it a good character? Honestly, should... Yeah, I would just agree with that. Yeah. Could have been a dancing spear character. That would have been great. There are large changes. Baxter and Motos need some adjustment. Kidnapped at first and saw her mother killed by Kogan. Decided how she needed bandits. Last words were begging here out to seek revenge. And only bring more pain. Garen ignored. Kodo rescued Azura. Azura was disgusted by Garen's actions, ignoring her mother's wishes, so she instead chose to be adopted into Hoshido. Battle Chains, and the curse that prevents her from talking about it doesn't exist, because that's stupid, so I wasn't telling anyone about it. She does to an extent, but not about Anakos. By accident, because I'm so low, near the actual line with a fight Anakos. You know how Grima Awakening is pretty powerful? And Anakos would make Grima his bitch. On to end the wars, but killing Anakos would get bored and return to his slumber. So motivation is to get the dragon to go to sleep. Big old lullaby story drive. Kill Lorne's stepfathers and conquest Lorne's help. Boruto was done years ago, but Garen's too far gone. Then you have to fight Goop Garen. Something ISS people on Anakos presents it. Weak enough, they're too deep in control. Causes her pain, can kill her if the opponent is powerful enough. Why didn't Anakos give her that power? Just curiosity. It's just a game to him. Much more interesting. Potentially the most interesting Fire Emblem dragon enemy. I'm kind of just cycling through them in my head. Duma's got some stuff, like the tragic angle, but no, I think this is better than that. Mid-range zoner, use her trident with water to dance around her opponents, yeah. Singing debuffs as well, cool. Song stuff, reflector, ballerina twirl, creates a wave. Just out of curiosity, we're on slide 145. I'm just curious how many of... Jesus Christ! Okay. I might skip forward significantly. I don't know if you can see that overlay, but that there are over 500 of these things. We're not gonna go through all of this. That's too much. That is... Wow, that might be a record. Okay. I think... Okay. How I'm going to handle this is I am going to skim through story stuff. Because that's what's really compelling me right now. I'm loving this kind of exploration of how this story could be shifted in ways... Yeah, that's fair. It's me to blame for taking so long. Also, did this... 1 second. Music stopped. Continue watching. Yes, please. I am very impressed by the effort. That's a very good point. Shire character. Upgraded to 3rd protagonist. Finding mates might join Heavenly... I don't think I would go that far. Just because Heavenly Havoc brings in just kind of... I like the exploration of myth. This is taking a single story and changing everything about it. I want this to stay structured the whole way through. Like, I want to digest the fullness of how this story is changing. Payday times... Almost, God, what's that? I've never watched it. What's the anime called where the elf has outlived everybody and she's kind of coming to terms with mortality? It's on the tip of my tongue. It starts with an F. Frieren? Freeren? I have no idea how to pronounce it. I think that's right. Yes! Okay, cool! I have a dragon eye now, because she gave Corrin half her dragon stone. Took on half her the energy. Doesn't need as much because she's older. Dragon form has been designed to be cuter, so her death hurts more. You're welcome. Second one was that, so Freeren. I've already forgotten how I said it. And run. Okay, skipping over. Felicia exists. I won't change much about her, except she's bisexual. Also, loves gay and canonically has a crush on her because of the classic saying, "Bye, voice." It's not for any kind of representation motivation. It's literally just this. That's hilarious. Spacey? Sure. Fiora, I forgot this character existed. Guilty Conscience. Blows up. Overall, capturing hired as maids, leverage against the Ice Tribe. Great elemental powers, but this result in being twins, they get dobbied. That's my hero. Oh, okay. Great ice magic. They are very vulnerable to their own magical abilities. Okay, okay, that's compelling. I like that. Just kind of explodes. Alone, their powers can severely hurt themselves if overused, but they can work together to kind of act as just temperature control. One's an AC unit, the other's a heater. They have very low mana, so they suffer damage. That's I love just in general tying like game design mechanics to character traits. That's just a delicious creative juice right there. And then by Vikings, so it's a neat quote, but Garen didn't want that because Nor makes profit by selling oil to them. Therefore, Garen took the twins. So that built up eventually to a rebellion. Okay. Recalls because two kids and the heat in the entire village is kind of fucked up. Fair. Observe while temperatures is dangerous, done too much. It's in cast support, and the level is risky even for her. Far about the same. Birthright, Fisherman's Corner's group. Sacrifice yourself later if you're saving from massive ice bomb set by a actual opponent instead of sacrificially scarring your sister like a coward. Juice metaphor is thriving. I'm so proud of myself for that one. I liked where my brain was at, and it felt good. Jacob's an asshole. He's fun. Just gets kind of kidnapped into service. Fun. Maids and butlers are spaceys? Sure. Sure, who are you? I don't remember. this character. Yes, destroyed tonight. Joins bandits. Just rob Noils. Oh, responsible. Oh, he's the boots. I had the second I say that. That's a lot. I'm seeing smoke bombs and ninja shit. Mozu is Mozu. Man tribes chased. Sure. Silas is the straight man for Corrin to bounce off of. Normal character for all the crazy. I really like that trope in Fire Emblem. So many of the characters just give me the vibe that they're just trying too hard to fit their archetypes. So when you have characters like Aaron in Radiant Dawn, Silas in Fates, they're just refreshing. Will in Blazing Swords, another one. I like Fire Emblem characters that just feel normal, you know? Alright, Caden, that's Fox Dude. He exists. Guess who the other tumor? I have not. I'm going to guess it's one of the royals. Because they gotta have a big enough impact on the story. I have no idea. Oh, it is Garen. Okay. Evil, pretty much it. This first conquest because it makes Garen... Okay. I see the vision. Make him more normal looking. Okay. Hint he ruins Xander. Fair. Yes. I was kind of getting lost and just trying to look at the siblings being like, okay... But you're right, Garen is the core that kind of spreads out. And just kind of makes the overall Hoshido Nor war one-dimensional. Prologue, he treats people well, does not intend to harm Corrin, but has very violent mood swings due to their fierce protectiveness, lost his wife, understandable. Increasingly ruthless over time. Slow burn corruption. But now it hurts more because he actually cares about people. Dark reflection of Corrin. Strength by justice. Share a strong bond with the family. Just by means to an end. Slowly losing his humanity until it's too late. Not revenge equal bad. It's attempting has unavoidable consequences. I like that so much more. I can't particularly stand revenge is bad stories. Like, when you get stuff like powder keg of a discussion point, but like, end of Last of Us 2, the fact that you kill so many people to reach that point just killed the whole point of what they were going for me. Big, beefy dude is beefy. Oh, but he starts to rot over time. Because goopiness. That's fun. Xander's fascinating in terms of how he screwed over. Supports are amazing. Main story, he's none of that. Follows cruel orders blindly. Would rather spit on his sister's dying wish and force Corrin to kill him. That did happen. You know, let's improve story. Yeah, making Garen less evil does fix him. And there's compassion for his family. He's not against conquering Hoshido after his mother was killed. A lot more justified in the war. Okay, yep. aware of his father slipping, but he wants to save him, to a point of desperation, actively argues against this. This is so much better. I don't think I'm going to start voicing anything. Although I do like just this right here. I will not allow you to sully Nor's honor by violating my... That's fun. Just standing up for, like, let's do this war right. Just as an illusion. As right as war can be. It's because he very much does. This problem just is determined by the winner, then the rules don't matter. That's why he sees justice as an illusion, so tries to be strong enough to do what's right regardless of what others see as right. Oh, I love the motif of Azura's song. It's really good. It drives me nuts that some of my least favorite games have such amazing music. Like, I enjoy ragging on Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but god, that soundtrack is amazing! A counterattack, more Arcane. Still kills Elise, which causes Corrin to snap and kill him. That's good. Oh my gosh! Okay, I'm just imagining that level where it's a duel against Xander versus Corrin. Instead of being like, because duels in Fire Emblem Fates are, I mean, Fire Emblem in general duels are just kind of lame. It's more just a cutscene as you're just watching this character get murdered while in grief for kill. That's really good. Oh, that's good. Gosh, that might be like peak Fire Emblem storytelling moment in general. Just showing through gameplay, just... This is how this character dies. You can't stop it. You just have to take out everybody else. He's not complete till he comes through scars. Yeah, okay. He's a chonky dude with a big sword. Camilla, famous sportsman, the Camilla is a gold mine of a... Oh my gosh, I don't know what those things are called. Turns out when you don't dress her like a stripper, peak design. She lives in the cold. You can still have her have the same personality. She's still hot. Right from manga. I sent the normal design, but this outfit is too cute not to use. If they really committed to sort of that more... like, colder European aesthetic with the character designs, I think that would have been so good. Alright. Well, for mistresses, love siblings around. Says this for the games or something. His mother was loveless, forced her into highest actions, including killing her own siblings. Damn. Everybody died until it was just Xander, Leo, and herself. Life was free. Arret was actually more of a healthy family dynamic. Yeah, okay. Super depressed about Azura dying. Unlike Vanilla Fates, Camilla is not gross towards Corrin. Thank you. The only person she behaves the same sentence as Vanilla is Elise. Yeah, big sister vibes. Adorable. Can be flirty, that's about it. Again, just... Fire Emblem characters so often take a trope and just take it too far to the point that I don't believe the character exists anymore, you know? It's not the trope in and of itself. It's just, the writing's trying too hard. I rarely get bothered by, like, whether the trope is, like, bad or not. It's more just the... It feels like insecure writing to me. Like, you don't know how to write with nuance, so we're just gonna put every one of these gauges to the max. Sorry, I keep tangenting. This is taking forever. My apologies. I'm enjoying this, though, to be clear. Throw away my life, none of them would have been killed in the first place. I like leaning more into the tragic sad sister. Leo is based, it's subjective fact. Should be a little older, not younger. Make his more experienced place character make a little more sense. He is magic character. Lisa's about the same. Yeah, she works. Cute little sisters, cute. Trope's gonna be fun. There's something about how newer Fire Emblem games do them that rubs me the wrong way. Yes. Yes. I need to think about it more, but I think it's how they're written specifically to be romanceable by everybody. Something about that, I think, just kind of genericifies things to a point where they're all being very hyper aggressive to commit to the trope, but all the tropes are compatible with each other. It's something about that just really screws over the writing of the characters. My friends, Gunter never murdered his family. It means he's not evil in Revelation. Just old war friends with Garen. Just basically when he learned that Hans killed him. Garen directly. Few decent folks. Yeah, humanizes Garen a little bit more. Yeah, okay, yeah, I see the vision. If you fix Garen, it fixes a lot of other things in this story. Sorry, you feel her a lot of times so you can visit her sister. There's reasoning to why Korn would see them as friends. Yeah. Never thought of that in Three Houses. I do think Three Houses does it the best. And I think it's because Three Houses is in a setting where that works a lot better. Like, that sort of, like, just more sociable interaction. It works in the school setting. It just works better. But I do think that still causes slight issues. Not big ones, but slight. I can't word that. I need to think about that more. Yeah, I agree with that, 3X. The writing's a little sharper due to less supports in older games. Okay. Yeah, friendly old war buddy. Kind of like an adopted uncle vibe. Laszlo. Awakening folks getting here is tweaked. That's kind of funny. Dude tried to save the 3 legendary heroes of Elise to end on Ankos' Havoc. So he tried to go for Robin, Crom, and I'm assuming Lucina. But he missed. Has been Norn retainers to aid the future. Yada Wheeler specifically refuses to join either side. I think a few supports should be clearly listed as canon. You know what it is that... I think I know what it is that bothers me in Three Houses. I don't like how every single character interaction feels like it exists in a bubble. Like, the cast is presented in a way to be a really dynamically just friend group. But the supports all happen in isolation, which means that character development happens in isolation. And so in weird cases, you'll have the characters kind of bouncing between various points of where they are in their lives, and that just feels kind of weird. Like, in one support, Marianne will start to be, like, really embracing herself, not feel as down on herself. Then you get to another one, and she's still just at the bottom, rock bottom of depression. And Oakley, yeah, you'd have to write, like, a dynamically changing support system. Or maybe, you know, here's an idea. Maybe instead of a support system, actively focus it on, like, the group setting. If this handful of characters work together enough, you unlock a story moment where it's just 3, 4, 5 of them interacting at once. So kind of just do away with a traditional support system altogether, and instead make it more like Radiant Dawn's base conversations. Something like that. I don't know. Story characters interact at particular story points and have particular support system. Yeah. There's ways to work around it. Sorry, Fire Emblem writing tangent. Perry, you're a character that exists. I also like that one. Parallax be viewed, but there's a gate with almost like a Xenoblade. They're not called supports. What is that called? You know what I'm talking about. Psychopath serial killers, pattern enhanced. I don't except for Laszlo base character bend over backwards for her. It's weird that no one ever calls her out. Daughter of noble family, murdered by servants. The nice servant was her mother's killer, leading her to murder them, but using mistakes they made as excuses. She's kind of just fostering heart-to-hearts. Thank you. Impressed Garen in noble tournaments. Still see that she was still suffering. Xander hired her to try to help. Okay. Seeing a broken... that makes Xander a lot better. Fixing the core problems is having a ripple effect. She is a rehabilitation character. Sadism remains, which things at a surface level. Seeing nothing wrong with killing the bad guys. Has a hard time with the maid characters. Toned down, but, like, actually exploring this sort of character type. I like this. Odin is Odin. Probably my favorite Fates character. If... I know I was just complaining about the tropes. But sometimes they're just fun. I acknowledge that this is me being hypocritical. Like, I'm not invested in him as a person. I don't find him a compelling character. But once you get into that sort of trope writing, you inevitably gravitate towards someone that's just like, I find you funny. And Odin fits that for me. The darkness compels me. Niles is pretty good. Selena, not much has changed. Baruka, I barely remember you. Which probably means you were fine. Arthur. Fun. He's one I'd want... like, fun, but give me 90% Arthur, and I think I'd love him. That trope is too much, but it's not too hard. It's more just of a incongruence with the setting. That's like a Incineroar versus a Star Fox character kind of vibe. Like this, Arthur would be a great F-Zero racer. Oh, it's Captain Falcon inspired. Give Selena a haircut. Effie, you were Weightlifter, the character. Bulk up. Not very compelling to me. Pretty much the same. Just kind of changing more of the world-building stuff of the shapeshifters. Short. Alright. Nyx. So... grumpy child with a hat that's nearly as big as her. That's fun. Pretty good character. Dark Knight tragedy killed many innocent people when she was a kid. Cursing herself, making her unable to age. Design is just kinda creepy. I agree with that. The whole trope just... of older character trapped in a child's body, that's, for fairly obvious reasons, I think that's just generally creepy. But I think if you're doing it, this is the right way of doing it. Just give them the cranky grandma personality. Frustration is too bratty sounding. Pitch her down like an octave. Yeah, done with your shit vibes. Was that Discord? I should quit out of that. 1 second. You exist. Do you exist? Actually, which one are you? I remember a monk obsessed with death. Is this the Rainbow Sage? No, it's not the Rainbow Sage. Who the fuck are you? Guess the person is like... I don't remember you at... This is a character that exists. He's the fortune teller. I believe you? I don't... I think this is just an outright blind spot in my memory. Giant dude with a heart of gold. Yeah, Betty's good. Betty's just good. I like that archetype. You... I can't get over the fact that she's living in the cold while dressed like that. I don't mind fan service. I just think it can be quite fun if done right, but like make it make sense. Like work to fit it in your world building. Like in the same way I was talking about like writing insecurity, this feels like just lazy design insecurity. Also, muscles. Yeah! Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. Make her like just the Fates version of Braum from League of Legends. You want to do fan service like that? Just kind of into the folk hero vibes? 100% down. Sure, though, wants to be remiss or brainline design actually makes some sense. No, but it's cold, though! I'm not dropping that. I'm sorry. Unless it's, like, consistent in the lore, I guess. Like, Monster Hunter armor has never bothered me, because the hunters are already tanking, like, giant space beams of death from monsters. So, like, sure. They're indestructible. Just have fun with what you're wearing. Axe with some moves, and it hits hard. She has an axe. You... Ice Tribe Chieftain? This is a boss. I don't remember you. Hans are still irredeemable bastards. These are characters, like, just really fully corrupted by the villain. I was God, I wouldn't wear pants. No, see, the thing is, I agree with that. Like, if you're just that safe, go crazy with your fashion styles. Experiment. Why not? Iago, you are basic evil bitch. reflected as a zoner. Ryoma, Death and Conquest is the saddest. How's he changing? Because when they're children, he's jealous of the qualities of a ruler when he was a child. Was jealous of Corrin's warrior spirits. Hates the fact that he can get beaten down and can't get back up. Okay, okay. Takumi, Marines have a lot of potential. They got screwed over the fates being fates. For Hoshins, simply executed better. Not bad, there's less to say. I remember Takumi... Oh yeah. I think... Because, like, Metslayer was ranking Takumi as one of the lower-ranked written bosses in Fire Emblem Fates. I think it's because of this bit here. He's just kind of lame. Towards the end of Conquest. Scoring with him. Haunting the boss fight similar to Undertale Yellow Flower. Of course, needed. Oh, see ya, 3X. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciated your input. It was fun. He's his owner, he has a bow. Duh. Hinoka's fine, they just don't do anything with her. Sakura almost died and got kidnapped, she regretted. Kind of mirroring the sort of guilty sister. Blames herself for not being there when Corrin got kidnapped. Oh, that's... Oh! That's actually so cute, though! Made a surprise friend and just kept riding each other. It's actually Camilla, but they don't realize... That's a fun dynamic. That's cute. Yeah, how's this out there? Sakura's also... Yeah, little sister vibes. That's fairly easy to write, and is adorable. Mirroring thing was by accident. Sometimes that happens when you're writing things. Just people ask, wow, this is so great, did you do this on purpose? And you just gotta go like, yes, that was definitely the plan. Hello, Richelle. We're kind of just talking about a rewrite slash fighting game of Fire Emblem Fates. Really just kind of skimming the writing at this point, because this is very... Please say that's a 3 and not a 2. It's a 2! Okay, this is just a moveset. This is just a moveset. Expanded on the generic character to be more of a himbo. It's kind of a hyper Dames character. Fun. Make this one just kind of rich board. What's her name in Airbender? Kind of a Mai sort of character. Zama's a troll. He's great. I do enjoy him, Azama. Okay. Actual, just kind of a bitch character, but that actually kind of works more with Hoshio being more gray. Now, Pegasus Knight, that is indeed neat. Kaze exists. Not recruitable in Conquest. Doesn't die in Birthright. That was so... God, that pissed me off so much in Birthrights. Where if you don't get to a certain support level with this dude, you just lose one of your characters. He's dumb. You are another character that exists. Shoutouts for being one of the few Fire Emblem female designs that actually has muscles. It captures Corrin, and that's basically all we're talking about. Oh yeah, well I think I'll go a little bit longer today, just to make up for the fact that we're spending a lot of time here. Like, at the very least, I do want to get to the 2 concepts that I had in the thumbnail. I like Scarlet. Just in general. Fun character. Simple character. I like the simpler Fire Emblem characters a lot. Alright, you are a character that exists. What the fuck? Why are we What happened? Oh, okay. It's a character-specific thing. She's got tarot cards. That's fun. Maybe one of my favorite Fire Emblem classes ever. This is what's it called? The Mechanist? You exist. You're the one that rides the swan, right? Kid. Big beefy dude. You exist. Fire Chief. I don't remember you at all. Make the character that dies in the narrative a glass cannon. That's funny. I do like the idea of giving this dude more of a Slayer personality. Like, he only loses because, yeah, sure, that was fun. That was interesting. I'll let you have that one. Child units. I would just remove them from Fates' narrative, honestly. I really don't like them. It's such an obvious, this is only here because it was an awakening. Can't think of a sane way to implement them, so here's an insane one. Kids are born as a result of the astral plane bursting right out of the ground. That's kinda hilarious. You hold hands without protection. Oops. And they just age faster. Okay. You know what? That's stupid to the point that I'm kind of down with it. Files based moves with another's critical attacks. Just remove. Thank you. See if it's okay. So yeah, it's an explanation. Dumb, yes, but it's funny, and I appreciate that. That's the base roster. Yeah, remember those things? Amiibo did work. They were a thing. DLC. I'm going to very quickly skip through this. Marth exists. Roy exists. He is our boy. Robin also exists. Lucina also exists. Who are you? I remember your face. Is this... Oh! Oh, right! It's Tort's Byleth. Honestly, 10 out of 10 pull. I love that. Oh yeah, and the Ifrit design for Sothis. Just cool. Just so cool. Anna is here. Kiki is here. Lynn is here. Link, sure. Use your card as an Easter egg so I turn the favor. Raiden, why not? That's funny. 2B. Monster Hunter. Separate Ice Climbers. Finally made it to the... Were these actually... Wait. Was this like an actual thing voted by people? It is! That's so funny. Do you have to really tell you why you should vote Mario? Like, really, he's fucking Super Mario. He's the character of all time. Just add him. That's funny. Of the sort of, like, Fire Emblem meathead, clearly bad guy boss designs, I think this is one of my favorite ones. Just the biggest grin! An amazing dentist. Pate is here. Sure. Fits. I have no idea. So it's 2B before 2B. Okay. First Nier. Mario. Sure. Shez. A shout out to Akanu. Great moveset for them. Fire Emblem Lord as a bug. Sure. Goku. Wasn't voted for, but just added anyway. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. How far are we? We're almost there. We are almost there. There's one game and one story path. Starts with Birthright. When Lee Xander dies, he's crushed. Personally, he's saving the world as a front. Fan losing people over and over and over. After Lilith dies, she passes on the key to the astral plane. Oh! Oh! Interesting. You know, Hang on. Also, the music stopped. This... I kind of like this. So we're doing away with the choice in the narrative, but kind of building off of the timey-wimey bullshits of Awakening. It's Corrin trying to do like a do-over to fix the past mistakes, and he keeps fucking up. Yeah, Zagreus just pulls off Choose Your Path better anyway. So we're going, it's a more of a... Oh, what's another story that does this well? Because I've seen this trope before. Like, there's the obvious Groundhog Day comparison, but there's a specific video game story that's on the tip of my tongue. That's fine, it's fine. This is compelling to me, is what I'm saying. Nothing with Fire Fist, no clean ending to the war, and Revelation is just kind of... eh. Terminator works, yeah, sure. Just remember that he's not just a monster, but a broken-hearted widow, deeply loved by his siblings. Conflict leads to someone trying to cure Garen with the corner conquest, killing them. So I'm not working, leading to his death regardless. I'm going to do Birthright, and Garen deserves to die, and that's valid. Like I said before, the author does not choose based on goodness, but person's determination. Garen is morally gray, and many, including his allies, seem a little nuts. 14 minutes. I'm going to go a little longer with this episode. I've actually stayed pretty on top of homework lately. I'm not feeling too worried about spending too much time today. Turns out, when you kind of start cutting video games a little more out of your life, you have so much more time to just get the shit done that you need to get done. Oh, 14 minutes the game! I was looking at the time. I was just like, are you saying that it's been like... I should wrap... Sorry, misunderstanding. We're good. Do this. Power of determination, or getting more power. As far as this causes his soul to leave his original body, killing him before reversing over to its previous state. And every time he does that, he creates basically a superpowered soldier inside. That's cool. I like that. Yeah, shocking revelation here. Do you know you can actually pretty effectively organize your life in like 5 hours if you just stop procrastinating while watching YouTube videos and playing games? It's just so shocking. I guess the golden name was defeat the point. There's one more to save everyone. There must be a price to pay. Alright, so what is this ending? Corin dies. Not bringing him back to life or miraculous survival, actually dies. While the auto is full power, actually dragging fragments, consumes them, avoid a life as much, must choose to end it while he still has his mind. It's found gets to have a happy ending, but not him. I like that. I like that a lot. Difficulty, settings... Okay, I'm skipping over, like, basic game stuff at this point. Get level ranks. S rank. Oh, I like that. This needs to be a thing in more games. I miss... Oh, gosh. I miss the days of video games having, like, cool costumes and gear as unlocks instead of DLC stuff. Like, that's just... It's just... rare now. Skill trees are a thing. If you achieve ranks with supports, you get specific character options. Stats can grow. This is a Fire Emblem game after all. Costume pieces can be unlocked. I love costume builders, because having emotional cutscenes when someone's wearing a chef hat is funny. So the power of cutscene dialogue. Nations before battles. So a bit more interaction in terms of areas. I like it. In place of the face touching, we have a book club. That's kind of cute. Oh, wait a minute. I love that, actually. Because you make that, like, also a way to have, like, lore building. Like, exploring history books and seeing how stories are written in the world. That's actually brilliant. Actual 12 out of 10 idea. Like, it's funny on paper, but that's got layers to it. It also fits, because he was an isolated kid, so of course he's gonna read a lot. Newspaper stand. Face touch, I never played the face. That it's weird. It's just... There's like this just sort of... I think it's based off of a cultural thing. So it's not as weird in context, but like it's still kind of weird. Just invite them to your room and just touch. Or maybe that's a reflection of just how American culture is averse to physical touch. I don't know. That's a whole can of worms we're not going to go into. Stages! They exist. There are a lot of cool environments in Fates. I'll give it that. Hazard or cast, must set the type of giant advance, completely random. Training mode is a thing that exists. There's volleyball. You just hit it. Always a fun thing, isn't it? video games. Do y'all see the latest Smash Remix trailer? I thought they were done with that. But, like, they're still going hard. Like, King of the Hill modes and Smash Ball stuff. Very cool. Very cool. Tag team stuff. Fight against endless mobs. Coin launcher. I do miss coin launcher. I think this is my favorite, like, just fun minigame to earn trophies. I think it's the music. That thing's just got vibes. Yeah, the Lanky Kong thing was amazing. Street Fighters instead of Battle for the Rest. Damage having a few healing items. Yeah. Is this like... Hang on. Oh, it's kind of like Rivals a bit. Okay. Boss Rush. You exist. Oh, this is Zola getting, like, corrupted by the whole drag. Okay. I see it. Based on the Ninja Clan. Is this so... Okay. Big old turtle boss. Wait, it actually just is the Opera House? That's fun. Farewell, Frowley. Ice Trap Guardian. Big old dragon. I enjoy having just more mythological stuff in general. Quite cool. And is almost near, and all that is left is the other stuff. Oh! Oh, damn! Ooh. Norian's move akin to Western animation style. Hoshiden's move... I love that. I love that so much. I don't know how that translates into, like, fighting game mechanics, but God, that's such a cool way of taking the cultural split of Nor and Hoshido to a further level. Like, I need to see it in motion, but God damn, that'd be cool. Any further for facial... Oh, and you, like, do it with their expression. God. This would look so... Like, dive so far into the uncanny valley. Also, Treasure Planet mentioned absolute peak. I'm Still Here, one of the best songs Disney has ever had in any of their properties. That's... That's such a weird way to have, like, ethnic differences in a game. Have it tied to animation styles? Like, open-ended question. Like, for the child characters, do they end up being in, like, a middle ground between the animation styles? Is there, like, prejudice against FPS in this world? Oh my god, yeah, please just double down on that. That would be so both fascinating and hilarious. That's one of the best ideas that's ever shown up in a Peasant's perspective. Like, actually changing cultural differences to match sort of... I'm just picturing now. Like, I've talked about this in a while. I might try to get a roundtable set up for this now, because it's the kind of thing I'd want to just kind of sit on the back burner for months. But something I want to do is akin to Tort's, like, 3 houses but African-themed for just, like, Fire Emblem. And what I'm picturing right now is, like, okay, what if there was, like, a third faction that's just, like, India Bollywood, and how that would reflect in, like, the character. There's so much you could do for just that kind of thought process. Just look at people on 12 FPS. It's why Anonkos' realm is 60 frames per second. He's just a nerd that's really anal about, like, having perfect performance in all of his video games. He counts the frames. And he will not accept anything other than a stable 60 FPS. It's so stupid. I love it so much. Elemental linked mana. Yeah, it's always fun. You're a filthy chopper. Frame droppers. Speed in bipedal positions. Just weird, horrifying hybrid creature. These dudes are puppets and they glow as such. Music is already great. Agreed. Oh, I like that. If you idle your characters, the music also calms down to kind of match that. That's fun. Choose whether a character speaks Japanese or English. Love this. Make it so it's split across cultures. Just Tekken style, everybody understands each other. Love that. Absolutely love that. Menus are simple. Results theme. And that's everything I want to show for Fighting Fates. 395 slides. Where are the 400s? Destroy the universe. No, I will not allow the world to end like this. You're too late. You have become far too powerful for you to beat me. It's not over yet. Sakurai, turn... There is only corn. You may have decorned fates, but the cringe of OG Corrin cannot fade. People of Earth, lend me your hatred. I feel the powerful within me. Prepare yourself for a DMCA. I love absurdist humor. You are tickling my brain in the exact right way right now. It's so dumb. The end. Question mark. Bye-bye. I look forward to seeing whatever the fuck happens next. That took forever, and we were skimming through most of it. Easily the longest slideshow we've ever had. But I really respect all the thought that went into that. Well done. You have very efficiently and very effectively, like, created this whole new universe where I kind of love the lore of Fates here. That's really great. Gosh, it took 87 slides just to start the... I love how this series has gone on for so long that you're almost getting like genres of presentation styles just based on how people have chosen to highlight their ideas. 100 an hour and 40 minutes. Oh no, actually that is 100 minutes. Okay. I still feel like I've got some stamina in me. I see what you're saying there, Goodwitch. I might try to get to yours, but first I want to make sure that I get to the ones that I put in the thumbnail. If those people are watching later, I don't want them to come in expecting their ideas to be featured and be disappointed when it doesn't happen. So, where's BNs? There you are. I'm going to remember properties BN. This also means that we get to listen to Hades music. And listening to Hades music is always a good time. Boop. We do not have music, so let's just Hades OST. We're just gonna set this on random. Will the vocal themes get DMCA'd? God, the music in this game's amazing. Shuffle. Also fine for it to loop. I don't expect it will take that long. Alright. Let's see BN's take on how Zagreus works in Super Smash Bros. This is for Super Smash Bros., right? Yes. Main protagonist of the game, Hades, released in 2020. Roguelike, fantastic game. Great exploration of Greek mythology. Definitely in, like, top 30 for me? Something like that? Something like that. Prince of the Unknown, the realized son of Hades, are finding out his lineage. Yeah. Designed mostly a 3D rendition of his artwork. Okay. Confident, sarcastic character, reflecting his taunts and victories. I also want to embody his relentlessness and his normals. Sorry, I'm getting a bit of the hiccups. Let me get some water. Alternate idle animation when his holy sword is used in the stack animation. Okay. So unless I would highly recommend it. Has the Mirror Temple been the longest concept from Peasant's perspective? I think that's hard to judge, honestly. And I say that because a lot of people have created, like, documents that lead to a bunch of other movesets. And, like, if you take all of those as a single entity, those are probably longer. That slideshow was also massive. I think it... maybe not compete, but it's up there. Unless you're talking about in terms of time spent, in which case, maybe. That's a question for Potato. I'm sure Potato's been keeping track of stats like that. And if not, now that I've said that, he's going to start. Slash was roguelike. Embody playing either game. Well-rounded. String combos rather than brute damage. Makes sense. Excel in a particular area too much because I want to embody the roguelike area. He's just kind of an all-rounder. Hits people a lot. Has a meter that builds up by dealing damage, but also by taking. And once the meter fills up, he gets one of the Olympian gods. One of 6, rather. Zeus, Athena, Ares, Hermes, Poseidon, Artemis. First, each god will present you with one of 4 options. Attack, cast, special, or dash. Oh, hold on. This is interesting. Lets you basically attach a boon to an aspect of your movesets. a bit of a randomization, which fits well for a roguelike. You don't quite know who you're going to run into. Just being like, okay, you got Aphrodite. Do you want her effects on your dash or your specials? Okay. Here are all the sword attack attributes. It's only effective sword attacks with ours. Okay. Zeus gives electricity, more freeze frame, and hit stun. Deflect gives higher priority. Ares gives a tipper mechanic. Reverse tipper, okay. Greater haste. Reduces startup. Water. Damage output. More active frames. And Artemis's gives a other tipper. Sweet spot. Okay, okay. Down special. Chthonic Blood, God's Blessing. Keep the red aura. Next attack you have. Okay, so kind of building off of the way where if you use your cast, you can build it so that it empowers attacks. I can see what you're going for here. I think it works. When your meter's full, this is how you choose your boons. Okay. Normal, punches twice with the fists. Forward tilt, slashes a couple times. Up tilt is a slash, down tilt is a slash. Sword stab for dash. Smash attack is the shield rush. Up smash is a strike with the bow. Down is the spear spin, I think. That's the spear, right? Yeah. Aerial's a double slash. Like Link's forward air. Forward air is a single slash. Heavier. Back air is a back stab. Up air is a drill slash. This good old spinning attack. And down air is a... not a stall and fall, just kicking below him. Okay, okay. Grabbing is grabbing. Forward throw hits with the shield. Back throw... yeah, we're fine. Tosses people back and then shoots them. Eternal Trident stab with the up throw. And just punches people a lot for the down. Okay, okay. Neutral is the cast ability in Hades. Just toss out a projectile. Bloodstone isn't particularly great. Like, it's a projectile, so it'll zone it. But you can boon this. Zeus's is a thunderbolt that pierces and can bounce back. So, essentially a boomerang. Athena's is a phalanx shot. Larger coverage and reflects projectiles. Okay. Ares is a slicing shot. I'm assuming this is a multi-hit. Yeah, drags opponents. Hermes is... oh, it gives you more ammunition. Okay. More spammy. Poseidon is a flood shot. More startup and cooldown. This should hit the hardest if we're keeping... yeah, and it does. And Artemis exit wounds, which marks people. Okay, yeah. Like a weak... God, this Hades music's so fucking good. Side special, quick dive, similar to Corn side special. This is... I like this. Kind of taking... like silhouettes of Smash characters, but kind of blurring and combining them in ways that you can create deeper silhouettes for specific... I like it. It's cool. It's cool. Side special during the dive. Stabs covering the ground, create a shockwave around him. Oh yeah, this is his, I only know his Q move, because I use a keyboard, but that's not... I know what attack this is referencing. Zeus creates a shockwave that emits thunderbolts. Sends vertical range. More hit stun. Okay. Athena gives armor to projectiles in the front. Can also reflect them with a shockwave. Creates a blade rift during the stab, which flinches opponents. Also appears when used midair. Hermes allows you to do it faster and jump cancel out of it. I'm really enjoying the consistency here. Like, every god is combining in a way that makes sense with both how their boons work in Hades, but also works with how Smash moves work in Smash. This is smart. I like it. Right, gains water, launches flows forward, kind of carries people with them, and just launches them away. And then Artemis creates arrows that home in after using the move. Cool. I have specials like dash, goes in any direction. Very fast, does not hit a hitbox, and puts Zagreus in free fall. Zeus gains a thunder, makes it move travel farther, electric hitbox. Athena's has a weak hitbox. Again, invulnerable to projectiles. Does what it should. Yep. Hermes turns into a quick attack like Pikachu's. That's really good. It's also faster. I like the consistency. Zagreus creates... Ares creates a Blade Rift behind him. He's going to trap people with it. That's cool for setups. Poseidon's goes further and creates a hitbox at the start. And Artemis's has a green effect, allowing you to attack out of the... Ooh! And if you land the attack, it counts as for... This... I love how, since the moves are different, it has to create a different identity. It has to create a different effect for some of these. But they all feel really consistent with, like, the theming. Is cool. I like. Final Smash is the call of the gods. Pulls out the gun, shoots forward. You can shoot 3 opponents. Called into a cinematic, calls upon all the Olympian gods. Each time a random Olympian will say something. Yeah, it's just all their super moves. That's cool. Just smacking people with a whole pantheon. Costumes are based off of various characters in Hades. And there we go. I like the thought process here, since the moveset uses the Olympian gods, focusing the colors on the chthonic gods. It's cool. Makes for a all-encompassing showcase of Hades. I think this is fantastic. It's a great way to translate the roguelike nature into Super Smash Bros., but not crazy to a point. Like, you're not working with every single Olympian god, and all of their effects make a lot of sense. Well done. Good. Thank you for the submission, BN. I do agree. It was a banger and a half. Alright, I'm going to highlight this. Move it up. This is just for organizational purposes. Okay. Next up. I want to get to the other one on the thumbnail. Where are you? Am I blind? Am I blind? Where are you? There you are. Okay. Do we have... No, we don't have music. What? What works? I think I'm going to go... F-Zero. Didn't have music ready? That's fine. I think this works. Alright. Oh, wait. at this. I'm actually remembering things now. I'm going to use your name in chat just so people know to ask questions. Although, for consistency's sake, this is Tort as well. Alright. It's a bit more water before I start narrating. This is High Speeds 2.0. I protected Goo today. That's why I'm sure tomorrow will be alright. Daishi Morimiya, aka Chosoku, Parahero, GanD. Thank you, Dingerfish. Alright. High speed, super fast Parahero GanD in Japanese, or GanD or GanD. The spelling pronunciation is weird for it. Chosoku, oh gosh. Parahero GanD is a 3-episode tokusatsu miniseries made in 2021 featuring Japan's first paraplegic superhero, the titular GanD. Is it pronounced GanD or GND? Follows Daishi Moriyama, a 17-year-old high school student who trains to become a top wheelchair track and field athlete to help pursue his dream of becoming an astronaut. One day, while practicing with Kai Fuke, a former track athlete and his coach, he comes across a handsome alien named Goo. GanD? Okay. Who escaped a mass genocide of his home planet in a nearby binary star. Goo warns Daishi. GanD. GanD. Will some drop the end part? Okay, well. And it's time for an upcoming danger that comes in the form of a gigantic lizard that follows Goo to Earth. Using a special transformation device known as the Mode Shifter by Goo, Daishi transforms into the superhero GanD to fight against the monster threatening planet Earth. So first off, killer design. Like, if this was Monster Hunter armor, this is something I would absolutely grind for. The thing about Choice is that it also features a ton of real-life Japanese para-athletes who will also dive into different sports such as wheelchair rugby. We have hitters in the actor department with Selu who portrayed Sogotoge. I'm terrible with Japanese pronunciation, I'm sorry. In Kamen Rider's 20th Heisei Anniversary Series. Kamen Rider Zio, Takeshi Suryono, who is Shinazuka, the protagonist of Ultraman Dina, Wataru Inaniwa, who played Grid Knight Suit in the Grid Knight fight, and more. This is a very different... This is very different from other movesets of mine, as this moveset is more of a personal design philosophy. I think what sort of got me into this moveset and Parahero GanD in general was a change of pace, as I'm effectively designing a moveset with very unique movement compared to other characters, and a design that deals with the fact that this is a hero in a track and field wheelchair. In fact, going into production, this wasn't really unique sentiment. To quote Wataru Inaniwa, the suit actor who portrayed GanD, it's a very different sensation, playing a role where you can't move your legs. It's very hard at first, because we always use our legs to find our center of gravity. Things like the best way to express a hero riding a wheelchair and what to do with my hands were just the tip of my concerns. As I searched for my answers, I wondered if I was really up to this. There are a lot of things to balance both moveset-wise, but also in the spirit of repping a fighter in a wheelchair. Just thinking about the fighting style and move descriptions is its own beast. Slight tangent, this is sounding like this guy isn't paraplegic. I'd be curious to know if there was, like, a hubbub around that. Because I think, like, this example is perfect in illustrating why there's value to having actors that, like, don't have a disability or something like that try to play the role and just kind of give someone with a social presence who knows how to talk to people a way to sort of illustrate these sorts of thought processes and kind of build those bridges of understanding. I think there's a very healthy aspect of representation here. Just a thought I wanted to share. But enough rambling. I wanted to focus on high speed and a sense of powering through your obstacles. GanD, as a concept, represents the idea of someone who previously viewed themselves as entirely incapable, gaining the strength to protect their loved ones and be an extraordinary individual. I ideally want the moveset to feel like a new but somewhat enlightening experience while pushing this character concept to its utter limits. Wasn't a controversy right now. A lot of people found it very good rep because the show features so many actual para-athletes. That's what I expect. Japanese culture in general doesn't seem to get as tittery as American culture is, which I'll be a little hostile here. A lot of Twitter complaints of that nature feel very performative to me. Like, look at all the things I'm not doing. I'm such a good ally. I put stop signs everywhere. And then I sit down at my keyboard and tell people they should look at my stop signs. Whereas you got something like this, which, like, just off the bat, this is cool. Like, look at this design. This is just cool. One of the best ways of having cool representation, like good representation, is just make it neat. Have people look at this and be like, yo, this is visually pleasing to my eyes. Alright. This has a theme. I'm not going to click that because that's definitely getting copyright stricken. Alternate costumes will be based on various characters in the miniature. This has got such heavy Power Rangers vibes, and I love it. You'll have a red, silver, alt alongside magenta, black. These are based off the villains Zagreus, the kind of monster he defeats at the end of the mini-drama, and Laru, the master of said monster. As a dark, almost all blue alt based on Gu, a handsome alien who gives Daishi the ability to transform, and a white alt with red accents based on Kai. Oh, this is the alien! Okay, sure. Or can you watch the show? I have no idea. It's a black, white, silver based on this dude, and one based off of this dude as well. He's wheeling out of a portal, leaving burning skid marks behind him. It's downtime, he's spinning his wheels round and round so they light up orange and flames behind them before spinning in place and stopping. For his side taunt, GanD snaps his fingers before spinning around, gives a heroic point towards the camera. Taunt pushes upon the ground, raising slowly as a large flower slowly springs up. The flower's no hitbox. So he's like... Is this like Druid Speedster? Am I interpreting this right? Because that's cool. That's an interesting combo. Maybe found before a giant monster comes crashing to the ground with she lands next to it, having clearly just beaten the monster. Bowser and Gandalf. That's fun. Specifically making it so it's like actual characters you can fight. Cute. Zooming off into the sunset. Special trait, movements. Much less numbers focused set than normal because the biggest thing that separates Daishi from... Yeah, he's attached to wheels. Does not have a specific meter or additional attacks, he just moves very differently from everyone else. Traction is a value that isn't often talked about, but it's essentially how long it takes a character to stop moving after a dash. Daishi kinda just doesn't stop. He slows down eventually, sure, but as opposed to every other character, his walk, run, and dash speeds blend together. I don't know if I'm ever going to make the Sonic Brainstorm, but this is actually something that I want on that character too. I think there's a fascinating untapped potential design space behind characters that are kind of a slave to their own momentum and just kind of how you design around that. Gain speed by constantly moving forward with his top speeds outpacing the fastest. Can make him stop by tilting the control stick in the direction opposite, which slows him down, while double tapping makes him turn around after drifting. You can also get him to stop by shielding. It's akin to playing Mario Kart or playing on permanently slippery ice with how he maneuvers. Spot dodge and rolls are also unique. While he can normally, when stopped, when moving, he instead does the equivalent of a neutral air dodge, which keeps his momentum. While on the ground, he's constantly moving forward. Moves such as tilts also function while Daishi is still moving forward, and some are affected by, or can affect his momentum as well. Okay. Weird kind of defensive options there. Momentum can be taken away when he's hit by attacks that send him flying, and if his main body is hit, something the next gimmick will get to, a strong move. Is this getting into, like, Bowser Jr. mechanics, where if you hit Bowser Jr. instead of the car, changes up damage a little bit? Long tilts and big moves, he's set to about 20% of his current momentum. This is done to make it more profitable to try and actively attack GanD instead of just running away. Since you do nothing but flee, he can build momentum uninterrupted, but fighting back can help slow him down. Okay. Well, this definitely sucks. There are ways to preserve momentum via teching. Most of them don't know, teching is the use of shield button at certain moments to negate most of the hit lag from an incoming attack. Yep. Having jumped backwards or perform an aerial wouldn't lose that momentum in the hands of a skilled player. This feels like... Yeah, this feels like the perfect kind of character for a high skill... Wow. High skill ceiling playstyle. That sort of momentum management is something that some people could pull off some crazy stuff with. Okay, special traits. Knockback Hyper Wheel. Built by his friends who work under his father. This is a vehicle of choice based on wheelchair racing and rugby, allowing him to move at high speeds while being stable enough to take heavy blows. So it takes notes from the Koopa family. Bowser Jr. has a similar gimmick in which hitting the clown cart deals less damage and knockback than normal, while hitting Bowser Jr. himself deals more damage than normal. Tough guys allow him extra armor. This move is by a more extreme extent as the Hyper Rule takes less damage and also has very little knockback to work and armor through all but Ganon's jab. Okay. Weaker hitbox takes priority. Also move Model Weirdness. His body just gets sucked into the opponent's hand and he shivers by some throws. Interesting. Okay. So if you grab people, it'll grab him, but if he gets knocked out from that, the vines will just grow out and reach. That's a cool visual animation, just in general. Kind of building off of the, like, the vine tethering from earlier in the stream. See ya, Gano. Thanks for stopping by. Tributes. Autobomb with cast. Combination of stats simultaneously featherweight and heavyweight with extremely high speed but low maneuverability. High turning lag and the fact it needs to be constantly building momentum. Comes together to make the epitome of hyperbole. No, epitome of Unga Bunga, where the only direction is effectively forward and you will get run over if you're in the way. Okay. Himself has kind of a different weight than his wheelchair due to his second gimmick. When his wheelchair hitbox is attacked, it's more akin to launching a super heavyweight like DDD, while attacking the body is more akin to a low featherweight like Fox. Interesting. Top speed can outpace Sonic. This sounds just... I'm picturing Brawl Wario Man's bike, where at top speeds, just trying to keep the character from SDing becomes a challenge in of its own right. And that just kind of sounds fun to try to deal with. His airspeed is more akin to other Smash characters, with it being equivalent to Sonic, Little Mac, and Captain Falcon, making him decently fast in the air. Fast faller, high gravity, jump height, very low. He has a running height that's increased being able to soar at 5. Okay. Uses the vines to grab as a tether. Cool. Rushdown Incarnate, which is really weird when you think about it. Yeah, it's just an interesting mix of character traits that kind of only work with this setup. Like, this is really only possible with a vehicle. And that's really neat. Alright, and it's also oddly balanced out by his more apparition. It's only fast, whereas build up, and he can kind of just charge at you, and impeded, he has to charge at you. It's almost like fighting a moving stage. Yo! Oh! That's a great elevator pitch. Longevity, melee. Less knockback, outclass the fastest. Simple game plan and playstyle, good aerials. Combo food, weak point makes him die quickly if exploited. And, like, very predictable. I love this era of just vehicle monster designs where everything's just kind of a toy. It brings me joy. Up special is fine. It can never kill. Tether with a new spin. Can be angled, and you can choose to aim it at the opponent or their projectiles. They will be pulled towards each other, increasing moment. Ooh. We're getting some, like, physics stuff here. I like. Launches an above, medium, or large projectile and will pull himself forwards towards the projectile. It's temporary inert. When the vine is attached, it's simply reflected. It regains its hitbox when the vine is off of it. Sorry. I'm just trying to visualize. This is reminding me of, like, how Ori will interact with projectiles in the Ori games. It's cool. And attaching to that, to the momentum gimmick, you're almost, like, swinging off of the projectiles to, like, course correct your direction. That's really cool. Approach zoners. It's done. It has end lag. It also just leads to some very funny interactions with certain projectiles. Special hyperplane burst. Average. Yes. Touch fire breath and immediately let go. Powerful single burst of flame. Damage and heavy kill power compared to projectiles like Belmont's axe throw. Cool. Nice fire blade. Has burst of flames to the opponents. It's similar range to Bastard's fire breath, but unlike that attack. Burst of damage that covers that area as opposed to a lingering multi-hit attack that keeps opponents inside it. Alright, Ori was in Rivals of Aether. I completely forgot about that. Doesn't slow or cancel it. Oh, okay. So, on top of it being like a good kill option, it's also, like, again, you're blasting flame. That's going to create momentum. F thrust in that direction. Gotta make a force diagram here. Stage allows him to cover a wide area horizontal, pushing him back closer. Yeah, it's great for recovery. It's PM Charizard's forward air. Oh, it can also be angled. Cool. Side special, Spiked Thunder Wheel. Start with a lot of end lag, multi-hits, strong finisher, weaker version of Little Max whenever done. Burrow into the opponent. Oh, cool. So you're just kind of grinding the wheels. That's neat. Okay, into the, like, Burning Knuckle, Raptor Boost. You can also dodge low projectiles, like Little Max Jolt Haymaker. Ooh, yeah. Like, again, this is just kind of a very interesting setup, because by the simple fact of being in a wheelchair, this is also a character that's going to naturally have a pretty low profile in a lot of attacks, but a very wide horizontal one. Especially, yeah, I'm trying to skim through movesets a lot more. Just because you can only read how a down arrow works so many times. I'm trying to focus more on just trying to get the general gist of how a move works. Like, this is a gap closer with a multi-hitting finisher at the end of it. And yeah, you don't have to narrate all of that. Dangerous approaches, especially if you've got momentum behind it. That's scary. And you can edgeguard people with it if you're not moving too quickly. Down special, protective flower shield. Retroactively, easy punish. Reflector is on the weaker side. Okay, guarding orbiters-ish. Doesn't slow him down at all. Ooh! Interesting. So it allows you to charge forward with an active reflector because of the momentum gimmick. But it's got some decent end lag, so if you don't call it a projectile correctly, you can be pretty easily punished. Okay. Can be broken, which puts it on a cooldown like the other reflectors. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Neutral attacks. Spark a bump at the front of the wheel. Whoever finds himself forward, spin over the... you just kind of run into them a little bit. I see it. Dash attack. Powerful punch sends the opponent's flying behind him as he continues to charge forward before turning around in his opponent's direction. Gosh, Flash on wheels is just... that's fun. Makes option, send opponents in the opposite direction. Okay, okay, yep. Dashing charge. Tilts. Back in there. Kind of pops a wheelie a little bit. Okay, okay. Hits people above you. Down tilt there's a drift. Okay. Sparks flying off the ground in the process. High hit some because of the sparks. Cool. Forward smash. Creates a gigantic... The druid craft angle of this is so... it's so weird, but like in a good way, you know? Like, if you described, like, Kamen Rider paraplegic superhero, the idea of also making him a druid would be, like, the last thing on my mind. Like, it's a neat little juxtaposition between, like, the high-tech and the nature stuff. Just creates a big old log and starts swinging around. Well, that's cool. Attack hits a player or a shield, it will have an animation of breaking upon impact. Neat. Also fully conserves momentum. That's terrifying. Imagine a forward smash charging towards you faster than Sonic. Up smash, back thrusting forward, creating a giant bunch of tree branches that form a spike. 45-degree angle above him. So good at charging up air, but difficult to attack people directly above him. Which makes sense for a setup like this. Up tilt is an anti-air for approaching opponents, and up smash is reserved for opponents trying to run away. Okay, immediately click up smash, you can pull off a dash attack, cancel up smash. Cool, cool. Oh, Butter Plant, hello! Welcome. Down smash, tilting your wheelchair aside, raises his fist and slams into the ground in front of him. Creates a more down smash shockwaves. Thank you. Ooh, 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 ooh. This is cool, like, especially here, because this is how you stop. Like, you punch into the ground, and you just drag through it. It hits the brakes. What did you miss? We covered another BC-omix, Heavenly Havoc concept. That was a Cherokee deity. Quite cool. Spent, like, I think it was exactly 100 minutes talking about GabeThePaper's, like, Fire Emblem Fates rewrite and fighting game. That was cool. We covered BN Zagreus, and we are currently on Tort's GanD moveset. So, thank you. That was the throws. Push the opponents to the weapon in front of them before pulling them back and ramming them into them. The animations for this character's throws sound really cool. I think this is the first time in Peasant's perspective history that I really wish the grab and pummel... Oh, I'm gonna actually go forward a little bit to see. Damn it! Because what I'm picturing right now is like wrapping people in vines and just kind of dragging them behind you as your momentum carries you forward. Like you've Mad Max just hook a chain around somebody or drag him behind your motorcycle. That sounds sick. Forward throw puts people in front of him and then rams into them. Cool. Yeah, why is everything plants? I don't understand it. But it's fun. Back throw. The opponents with fans behind the hyper before the turn thrusters. Okay, blast them away with a speed boost. Cool. Down the wheels back where the punch has stretched up, portal underneath them, and they fall through it. So just fall through a portal. Interesting. We also have portal mechanics on this character. Up throw, we're swinging a ball of vines. If it's a ball, we're tossing them up and letting it bounce back down. Launching them upwards. Okay. Aerials. It's forward. We're performing a series of spins, looking similar to a mid-air drill. What F-Zero music is this? Oh, it's the results. Oh, it's staff roll, even. Now, give me higher energy. No. There we go. Yeah. Neutral spin. Forward air. Overhead punch. Throws him off balance with a mid-air flip. Okay. Back air. Grabs the handle, twists the other body back. Swings the chair behind him to hit them. Up air, shoots a vine from his wrist upward, and if he lands the attack, he lifts himself with the opponent as they're launched upwards. Cool, kind of just a sort of upward juggle mechanic. Down air, starts facing the camera, grabbing the wheel before removing it, before swinging the spiked wheel. It's attached to a vine. Interesting. Hang on, I need to read that again. Grabbing the wheel. Okay. So grabs wheel, removes it, vines come out of arm, turning it into a buzzsaw that you swing. That's sick. That's really cool. Final smash, dream of the stars. Father and friend create a miniature rocket to hit the big bad monster at the last moment to save his life, but things will be a little different. Faster than he's ever gone before, and rams into the opponent, knocking them upwards into the air as the rocket is sent through a portal. Then as the foe is launched into the air, the rocket slams into them, creating a massive explosion. Okay, yeah. Big ol' explosive rocket. Okay. Okay. How does the shield work on this? Barrel and head first, some depth to him. Shielding slows down his movement. Mobile shield is nuts. Momentum to throw opponents off guard. Use shields from soft positions, triggering the opponent think he's going to jump right into their range. And shield dancing. Interesting. Gosh, I'm having a hard time visualizing this, but the idea sounds compelling. I'm just kind of using, it basically turns every single tool you've got in a platform fighter into a simple yes or no question of, does this speed me up, or does it slow me down? And just all of the weird interactions that would have in all sorts of different ways. There is not really a neutral game, as he's just zooming towards you at all times. You are either comboing this character or he's charging towards you. I like this. It feels perfect for a speedster character. Because win or lose, a match against a character like this is going to be over very, very quickly. Offstage game, good and bad. Got some weird mobility that can make him a menace, but he's also just not built for air movement, which makes sense because he's on wheels. Contrast doesn't really have a ledge or an edge guard in game due to how time-specific that sort of thing is. Can't really dash dance for spacing. If you really want to pull off an edge guard, you have to go for a very hard and precise prediction. This is especially the case of moves like Side Special, where missing your prediction by a unit or two can cause dashes to go flying off the edge instead and get into a tough situation. You gotta commit to your decisions here. To get serious for a moment, I've noticed that a lot of people in the online spaces tend to see wheelchairs as a concept that is just fully limiting, unless there's some extremely otherworldly factor in play. Ooh. This might get into a bit more of a serious tangent. I'm going to preface this by saying if I'm off base here, I want to be called out on it, but it brought back a memory of watching Critical Role. And prefacing this by saying I adore Matt Mercer and all that cast. Fantastic people. I remember a character there that was paraplegic and was using this super souped-up wheelchair to be able to be an adventurer, which, you know, cool. But the way it worked to allow for that was kind of just ignoring the limitations of it. Like, it could sprout spider legs, which, like, I don't know, something that feels off, you know? Just, like, give the... I don't know. There's something there that's a much deeper conversation to have. But there's a weird sort of... I'm going to approach this from a different angle. There is a not belief system, but a philosophical kind of view of representation called assimilationism, which is when people are very, very accepting and engaging with all sorts of different people, but it's done in a way to make them more like themselves. I point to XCOM Chimera Squad as an example of this. It's kind of divorced from real-world prejudices. You've got this society with all sorts of crazy aliens and technology, but it redesigned the aliens' visuals, how their voices, they removed filters to a point that they became more human. And that kind of misses the point. People aren't interesting because everybody is the same. People are so cool, so fascinating, because everybody is wildly different. We have our own unique strengths and struggles. And I feel like there's something inherently wrong about trying to be accepting by kind of just overriding the struggles altogether. And, sorry, this is a weird, long tangent, but am I making sense? Because, like, I like how this was handled a lot, because you really dive into both the strengths and weaknesses of a character like this. Crazy momentum, a low profile, but also a really wide horizontal profile. There's the interesting weight differences between both the chair and the person. It doesn't, like, put any of that to the side. It actually, like, bakes that into the moveset and creates a really compelling character that's just really cool. I don't know. Good representation that doesn't set aside drawbacks. It doesn't set aside flaws. Every single community, be it religious or political or gender identity, whatever, has pros and cons. And if you're not, like, bringing the cons into the conversation, you're not quite treating people as human. Yeah, it's full representation. If you want to really connect with people, you gotta be able to see where their problems are and respect that, and see how they have grown as people to work around that. I think that's the key thing there. That's where assimilationism is bad. Because in removing the struggles, you've also removed the story of how people overcame them. I think the reason it took me so long to make this move is because I didn't want guns. Yeah, because like if you just made this a moveset to be like every other fighter in a platform fighter, like, you could do that, and it does have kind of, like, the aura of being welcoming. Like, yeah, you participate in this just like everybody else. But, like, that's just a terminally online way of being accepting of people. That only works in an online space, because everybody's just a username online. I don't know. I'm gonna drop the tangent. The point is, this is cool. I think this is the right way to handle these sorts of conversations of how you try to represent disability. I had this moveset to get out due to life stuff. A huge part of the fun I had with this moveset was describing the animations. I liked figuring out how to have a racing wheelchair interact with hitting the stage, or how I'd leverage its extended reach and attacks, or how the mechanics of stopping and moving could work as moves in of themselves. It was definitely a challenge, but that was the fun of it. GanD's Hyper Wheeler isn't something to be ashamed of or find ways to take away remove in this moveset. It's a part of his character that makes for a unique and kick-ass fighting style. It's a direction that was set out for me by the source material, so of course I was going to travel down it at Mach speeds. 10 out of 10. Very cool. I do want to know the answer to this question, especially now. Where do I watch this? I at least want to see how the fights are laid out, because this just sounds like a fight choreographer's dream. Because how often have you seen something like this? No, yeah, I have no notes. This was extremely fun. Going to dinner, that was really cool. See you, Gabe. How long have I been going for? We're not quite at the 3-hour mark. Gosh, I do want to keep to what I talked about in the last video. I need to be trying to make these episodes shorter, but I think, like, school's not stressful to a point that I am worried about not being able to get to things. So I think we're gonna do one more. Alright, first off, let me move it. This... Is this connected to this? I think this is connected to this. Boop. Yeah. Who here wants their stuff covered? How far are we as well? We are a page and a fourth through 7 pages. Is that a full 7? No, it's not. Okay, so fractions, 1 1/3 into like 6 1/4. Maybe a fourth of the way done. Decent length. Fletch King. Let me see. Well, like, again, we're gonna get to everybody's eventually. I'm going to make this decision based on variety here. So we got another Smash moveset. Where's Fletch Kings? How long are these? This is very short. Although that's multiple stuff. Okay. I think we're going to go with Fletch Kings this time. And then we'll try to cover BB's and Dylan's next week. I think that's my decision. Because this is very accessible. I cannot access this playlist. So never mind. Sorry. I want to be able to present this in the way that you want me to. That's going to take some time. I do want to like wrap things up quickly. Dylan, I'm going to skip over yours just because I've done several movesets today, and I think if I started reading another moveset, I would lose steam. So I'm going to choose something else just to give variety. Absolutely not a decision based off of the concept. I think I am able to have more stamina when narrating these if I'm inherently covering different stuff. Okay. Let's... wait. Where... there. Gonna bop off of F-Zero. Gonna loop this. Okay, this is a console, apparently. Sure. In a time where video games are becoming more and more expensive, people have been begging for a cheaper way to play them. Not everybody could drop $450 on the Switch 2 and $80 in Mario Kart. However, Nintendo obviously can't make a mainline system for under $200. I don't worry about... oh, shit! Sorry. Offer... this one is BB. Thank you for the reminder, BC. And then copy... link. There we go. Where was I? Nintendo obviously can't maintain a mainline system for under $200. The price of the consoles and games would far exceed the profits. And trying to lower the power would stifle the creation of new games. But one budget gaming option has been on the rise. Emulation consoles. Smaller, less powerful, cheaper system but focused on playing games from years past. Stuff like the NES Classics lineup. However, what if Nintendo launched a serious emulation console? Meant to rival the Mii U Mini or the... I've never heard of these. While appealing to a budget kids can reasonably afford. Focusing on playing their and potentially other retro games while still providing modern features and efforts. This is the Nintendo Power Player. $139.99. Genuine system. Let's have a higher stock than NES and SNES Classics. We got a box art like this. Gift card for 100 people. Okay. Interesting setup. Kind of just stuffing a Game Boy Advance between a PlayStation controller and calling it good. It works. Just describing what we can see here. As wide as Nintendo Switch, but we focus more on large, comfortable buttons. That was not your Discord. My apologies. I should have quit out of that. Ah! 1 second. Okay. Discord has been quit. Alright. CPU enough power to comfortably emulate any N64 game. Okay. Support either headphones or external controllers. really interesting stuff. The software. Various lists of games will appear based on criteria like what you played last. President will take you to a sidebar. This allows you to search for specific games. Use the magnifying glass. Choose to either start a new game, continue from one of 4 save states, favorite a game, or review game stats, creator. Oh, that's fun. I wish more games did stuff like this. Just give me an easily accessible list of, like, how long I've played this, when I first played it. I just think it's nice for, like, when you're looking back at the games across your life. Sometimes it is fascinating to look at Heroes of the Storm, see, like, upwards of 5,000 matches, and kind of hate the math that arises from that. Oh, so you did never page right now, we're on the list, but I don't think it's 5,000. It's not that high. It's like 2 or 3. Still ridiculous, though. Definitely 4 digits. Bunch of systems. I will say immediately, like, I think this is brilliant. But the cynical side of my brain is just thinking, like, I can't see Nintendo ever doing it. Because it prevents them from, like, the consistent monetization of their older games through, like, the Virtual Console into the Nintendo Switch Online services now. I'd bet you money that whatever system comes after the Nintendo Switch 2 is gonna reset it again with something else. But this is lovely. This is something that maybe a third party needs to start looking into. Maybe not like a physical system, but like if some really clever people that make emulators want to work together, like you could probably develop an app like this. Just, I'm not saying I would support that initiative. I'm just saying that it's probably possible to get all of this organized in a single place. That's all. This is a hypothetical exploration of a thought process. Welcome back, 3X. Just going over BB's console idea before wrapping up for the day. This game's available as a meal in group format. NES, complete 30 games. How it's being Mario 3, Zelda, Castlevania, of course. SNES, Super Metroid, Star Fox, Mega Man Z, Game Boy, Kid Icarus, Tetris, Pokemon Red, Game Boy Color, Oracles, Game Watch Gallery, Shantae. Shantae, right. That was Game Boy Color. Wow. Sorry, that just threw me for a loop. I could have sworn that Shantae was a younger series than that, but I guess not. GBA, WarioWare, Fire Emblem, yeah, give you a go. 64, the stuff you'd expect. Genesis. Sonic Hedgehog, Golden Axe, Strider. Game Gear. Neo Geo. Fatal Fury, Metal Slug. Oh, Metal Slug's great. And Arcade. Cool. I'm not gonna guide you to the room of the precious treasure, which is on the 3rd floor, 3 rooms to the left. No! No! There's no way that any game is a Google search away for those that are financially struggling. That's silly talk. Almost every extra game that you can buy frequently added post-release, featuring fan favorites and obscure. Okay, so this is monetizable. That does boost the ability for this to happen, something like this. Roughly 10 United States cents. And this game would be worth $1, or 964 worth $5. That's fair. I think it's very reasonable. Here's the bundles, as shown below. Multiple games with a common theme, cheaper on average, and optimal if you want to own every single game. Okay. Oh, that's fun. I'm surprised the Nintendo Switch Online app doesn't have something like this. Because there was that one... I think it's just NES Remix, actually. It's the music we're listening to. Being able to just have those kind of fun little comparisons and competitions, this is a great way to spice new life? Bring new life into old games in a way that doesn't really change them. See your friend's lifetime scores. You can bully Willie about not having the best score in whatever this is. You view the information 7 unique challenges. Ooh! Oh! Oh, you just sold me so hard in a single sentence. Having something like this with weekly challenges is such a brilliant way to drum up interest in old games while keeping people's attention like constantly cycling through a library. Because a lot of these older games, they're not very long. But trying to do wacky things like don't ever use a power-up in Mario or something like that, and just seeing if people can do it? I think that's brilliant. That's compelling. It includes like a competition and achievements between people based on their nostalgia games, so Nintendo's never going to do it. But like, I love that. That's amazing. Spice challenges are playable from a smaller point, and you can go back to the ones you missed, so there's no FOMO. This is just great. It's so... we're kind of living in a fantasy dreamland where video game companies aren't predatory in this way, trying to milk you, but this is so player-friendly. It just feels nice. I like this. I think this is a fantastic idea. I'm not saying that if some emulation communities came together, they could set up something like this. Like various communities built around a Nexus Point app that tracks these kind of weekly challenges. I'm just saying that that would probably be technically feasible to do. It's like putting a human on Mars. Like, it's theoretically feasible. We don't need to talk about how realistic it is, but we're just exploring the idea. Would this be significantly easier than that? I don't know. It's for people who could do those sorts of things to decide. You are playing with power. Love it, love it. That was a good feel-good concept to end on. Thank you for sharing, BB. Just let us imagine for a second about some stuff being designed for the players. Okay. Get that down. Alright. I've been going for 3 hours. I think I'm going to call it there. This has been a great episode. What did we cover this time? We got another BC-omix. Heavenly Havoc moveset, which was extremely fun. We got just the sheer insanity of the Fire Emblem Fates fighting game. Zagreus was fantastic. Rock solid moveset. The Parahero was just not just a fantastic moveset, but like genuinely good representation just in general. And then we had just a fun little console thing. Just to end on a nice chill note for everyone to feel good and move forward. Alright, like I said last time, I can't commit that I'll definitely do another episode a week from now, but that is the goal. I'm going to try to make this weekly. If I don't show up, it just means I'm busy with classes. But hopefully we'll be able to continue down this list next week. See y'all next